What's good, fam? Bobby Shmurda turned the internet into a war zone between June 2nd and June 5th of 2026 when he went after Jay-Z and his lawyers. He claims the Brooklyn legend and his legal team are the actual reason he spent years locked in a cage. While some fans think Bobby is just losing his mind, he is actually calling out a gatekeeping system that he says keeps the youth down. The whole mess started after Jay-Z performed a freestyle at the Roots picnic in Philadelphia, where he allegedly threw shots at several different artists. Bobby did not appreciate the bars and hopped on social media to mock Jay-Z for having a complicated lyrical style that he calls Shakespearean. He went straight for the throat by questioning the street history of the Brooklyn icon and claimed he never saw Jay-Z pull a trigger in over 20 years. This is not some standard rap beef because Bobby is dropping heavy allegations about how the industry operates behind closed doors. He argues that Roc Nation and Jay-Z are gatekeeping the culture while ignoring the people who actually live the lyrics they rap about.
I was one of the main shooters, so I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's gang like murder, no? It's gang at the end of the day.
You a loyal nigga,
when you in it a certain type of way, pause and like.
Bobby feels like the corporate side of the industry is preying on young artists who do not have the money to protect themselves. We are watching the Big Brother image Jay-Z built for decades fall apart because Bobby is saying what every other rapper is afraid to whisper. This is not about some trophy or a spot on the charts. It's about the soul of Brooklyn and who really represents the neighborhood. Bobby claims the industry leaders act like they are for the community while they really move like corporations trying to profit from the struggle. His 3-day social media attack focused on the idea that the street credibility of the old guard is nothing but a lie. The most explosive part of this entire situation involves Alex Spiro, who is a high-profile attorney famously connected to Jay-Z and the Roc Nation circle.
I'm 19 at the time. Now I don't do this no more now. You heard, I'm 32, I got businesses, I got fucking passports, I'm legal now, I don't do shit like that no more.
He just wanna hang out.
Yeah.
Bobby Shmurda is naming Spiro as the specific person who put him in prison by forcing him into a bad legal situation years ago. According to Bobby, he was pressured into that September 2016 plea deal, which resulted in a massive sentence for third-degree conspiracy and weapons charges. He claims he told the judge in open court that he was being forced into the agreement, but the legal system sent him upstate anyway. This points to a massive power imbalance where a 19-year-old kid from the streets had to fight the legal power of a 40-year-old billionaire. When you look back at the original 2014 arrest at Quad Studios involving 15 members of the GS9 crew, the stakes were incredibly high for a young star.
Like, what was that day like when the feds blitzed the studio? Imagine we in the studio, Merc, 14 guns in there, 14 gangsters, and feds blitzing.
It was great night.
Bobby is suggesting that the legal help he received was not meant to keep him free, but instead served the interests of the powerful people at the top. He believes the corporate structure of the music business uses these legal fights to get leverage over young rappers before they understand the contracts. The claim is that the Roc Nation legal team acted as a tool for coercion instead of providing a real defense for someone facing a federal case. Bobby is making it clear that he feels completely betrayed by the people who were supposed to be his mentors in this game. It sounds like he is finished with the story that these moguls are helping the youth when he feels they are the ones holding the keys.
This is what I'm gonna explain.
I get my corporate side. It took me a lot to learn this. Hold on. It took me a lot to learn this. Okay, I can't play with this. I gotta protect.
These allegations suggest the 6-year sentence Bobby served was the direct result of advice from lawyers who were more loyal to their billionaire bosses than their own clients. This whole situation matters because it shines a light on what we have to call the freedom tax in the rap game. Bobby is basically saying that getting top-tier lawyers from a place like Roc Nation is more about corporate control than actually being free. Whenever these massive labels or management teams pay for your legal defense, there are usually strings attached that the fans never hear about.
You know what it is? I had to get my business right. Being independent. Being independent, I had to learn that. 50 taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a post on with 50.
His claim is that his specific plea deal was just the price of doing business for the people who were running his career back then. The picture he is painting shows a system where a young artist gets trapped between a decade in a cell and a predatory contract. All of this explains why he keeps talking about that gatekeeping. The artist feels like he was just a pawn in a much bigger game of chess. That frustration shows when you compare his loyalty to his crew against those corporate legal teams. Back in 2016, Bobby famously took more time behind bars just so Rowdy Rebel would not have to serve 12 years.
I'm just saying, niggas was like, yo, Bobby's a real nigga because he took more time for other niggas. Wasn't niggas saying that?
Yeah, because you know what? That's
loyalty.
That don't happen.
That move proved that his street code was real. To him, Jay-Z and the whole Roc Nation brand represent a corporate version of the streets that does not follow those same rules of honor. Bobby is using their history of personal sacrifice to show everyone that he is the one holding the moral high ground in this beef. He wants his followers to know the industry is packed with people who talk about the struggle but never actually face the consequences of it, shaking the foundation of how fans view the bond between these rap moguls and the young artists they sign as the result of this mess. Bobby is refusing to play the game anymore for real. His transparency is forcing the culture to look at the legal side of rap very differently. The point he is making is that having $1 billion does not give you the right to dictate the lives of men from the bottom.
A good time, but the reason we out here is for a cause. You know, they spending billions and billions of dollars to kill people. We can spend billions and billions.
We are seeing the start of a massive conversation about how much power these corporate entities should really have over the lives of artists. When you look at the actual timeline of events, it becomes very clear that Bobby is trying to expose that freedom tax. He is suggesting that Roc Nation supposedly used their legal power as a way to lock in future management points and control his whole career. You have to remember that Bobby signed with them for management in August of 2021. That was just months after his February release from Clinton Correctional. Back then, having a billionaire in your corner looked like a massive win. Now Bobby is framing that move as a strategic necessity rather than a partnership. Aligning himself with Jay-Z and the Roc Nation machine was allegedly the only way to escape that frustrating contract with Epic Records. His argument on social media is that this help was actually a predatory business move designed to control his life before he could even breathe. Those legal moves made by Alex Spiro feel like the first step in a decade-long plan to keep him under control. After Bobby finally split from Roc Nation in 2022 and left Epic Records that same year, he described the move as a successful escape mission. We are being told now that the help was never about brotherhood. It was really about grabbing a percentage of his future while he was vulnerable.
Everything real. I'm gonna keep everything real. You know why? Cause listen. I got a story to tell you. I'm gonna keep everything real straight from the 100 grand.
The thing about this situation suggests that the big players wait for street rappers to get into legal trouble so they can swoop in and take over. Before we move on and see how Bobby goes at Jay-Z for having a corporate identity crisis, tell me what y'all think. Is label help really brotherhood or just a predatory move to grab a percentage of a man's future? Tell me in the comments, no cap. While you at it, hit that like and subscribe. Let's continue. Bobby is really going at Jay-Z for what he calls a massive identity crisis at 56 years old. He says Harv is out here trying to compete with kids while his business moves are corporate and cold. It is a nasty look when you claim to be a mentor for the culture while your lawyers are taking career points from the youth. Bobby is disgusted that these industry leaders eat while the actual rappers are fighting for their lives in a cage. He points out the hypocrisy of a man rapping about the struggle but hiring attorneys who allegedly pressure teenagers into life-altering plea deals. To understand why Bobby feels like he can talk this way, you have to look back at his sacrifice in 2016. He famously took a 7-year sentence so that Rowdy Rebel wouldn't have to serve 12 years behind bars, which is the kind of street loyalty he says the corporate world will never understand.
I'm just saying, niggas was like, yo, Bobby's a real nigga because he took more time for other niggas. Wasn't niggas saying that?
Yeah, because you know what? That's
loyalty.
That don't happen.
He is using that moral high ground to show the difference between his code and what he calls the corporate loyalty of Roc Nation. In Bobby's world, you never sell out your brothers for a management deal or a better contract. He thinks Jay-Z has forgotten that fundamental rule while trying to stay relevant in a street culture he hasn't been a part of in decades. Bobby is essentially telling Jay-Z to put down the pen and stop acting like he is still in the Brooklyn trenches when his actions tell a different story. The anger in these rants comes from a place of feeling like the culture has been sold to the highest bidder by people who do not care. The rapper is making it clear that he believes the entire structure of Roc Nation is built on taking advantage of rappers in desperate legal situations. He sees a pattern where the legal aid provided to artists is just a front for a more calculated business takeover of their future.
This is what I'm gonna explain.
I mean, my corporate side. It took me a lot to learn this. Hold on. It took me a lot to learn this. Okay, I can't play with this. I gotta protect.
Bobby claims that by the time a young artist realizes what is happening, they have already signed away their most valuable years to a team that views them as an asset. This is why he is so focused on the role of Alex Spiro and the pressure he felt back in 2016. He argues the industry creates a cycle of dependency where rappers feel like they owe their freedom to the moguls who provided the legal team. Bobby is finally breaking that cycle by speaking out and refusing to remain silent about the terms of his past deals. He is warning the next generation of New York rappers that the big brother figure they see on television might actually be the one making sure they stay exploitable. This is a direct challenge to the reputation that Jay-Z has spent his whole career protecting, and Bobby doesn't seem to care about the consequences. He frames his departure from the major label system as the only way to truly be free from the influence of corporate giants. The contrast between the street codes of GS9 and the business codes of Roc Nation has never been more obvious than it is right now.
Back of the back, I'm the realest at running. I just happen to rap. I ain't gotta clap at them niggas scared of that black. I drop a black album, then I back out it as the best rapper alive, nigga. Action.
Bobby is painting himself as the only one brave enough to call out the biggest name in rap for what he sees as predatory behavior. It is a savage take on the reality of the music business that most artists are too terrified to even whisper about in private. June 10th, 2026 has come and gone without a single word from Jay-Z or his lawyer Alex Spiro about these explosive Instagram rants. That silence is finally starting to speak volumes. We usually see this kind of strategic silence from the Roc Nation camp to let things blow over. This situation feels different because the attack hits Jay-Z directly in his character and his street credibility. Hov can normally just stay quiet and let the rumors die out. But when a man like Bobby Shmurda calls you a fake street legend and a corporate gatekeeper, staying silent makes it look like there is no real answer for the charges. This drama is already damaging the reputation Roc Nation built by providing legal aid to artists like 21 Savage and Meek Mill over the years.
I've been in population plenty of times, but they always IPC me.
Yeah, but once
That's
you,
who I am.
once
I'm
you
Bobby
high
Shmurda.
profile like that, they're gonna put you in no matter what.
Yeah. So I was IPC.
I was on the island, they wanted to put me in PC too.
People are starting to look at that legal help with a massive side eye and wondering if there was a hidden price tag attached to those high-priced attorneys from the start. If the legal assistance comes with a management deal that takes a huge cut of your career for years, it is not a gift or a sign of brotherhood. It is just another cold business transaction. This specific moment marks the end of the Big Brother era for the new generation of New York drill and street rappers. These artists are looking for real independence and a way out of the system. Bobby Shmurda is the only one brave enough to stand up and say what everyone else has been thinking about the Jay-Z business model for at least a decade. Most artists in this game are too scared of being blackballed to speak up against the king of New York. Bobby already spent 6 years in a cell and has nothing left to lose. He is coming for the crown and the corporate structure that he believes was designed to keep young rappers in a state of constant debt and dependency. When you look at the whole picture, the core of the blame goes back to that 2016 plea deal, which Bobby says started an entire decade of corporate control. The management deal Bobby signed in 2021 was basically the interest he had to pay on the legal help he received while he was locked up upstate.
19. I'm 19 at the time. Now I don't do this no more now. You heard, I'm 32, I got businesses, I got fucking passports, I'm legal now, I don't do shit like that no more.
Females, you just wanna hang out.
The freedom tax. He finally decided to stop paying was part of that management deal. He walked away from the industry giants in 2022 to go independent. Bobby is making it clear that he would much rather be free and speak his mind than play the industry games. He refuses to be quiet and grateful to people he feels exploited him. He is choosing his own path and refusing to let anyone else dictate his narrative or his street credentials ever again. Before we move on and see how the rest of Brooklyn reacts to this civil war, tell me what you all think about this situation. I want to know whose side you are taking. Tell me in the comments if you think Bobby Shmurda is just crashing out because he is emotional. Tell me if you think he is finally telling the truth about how these moguls operate. No cap, I want to know if you think Hov is still the big brother of the culture or if he has just become another corporate gatekeeper looking for a check. While you are at it, make sure you like and subscribe so you do not miss the next breakdown on this situation. As a West Coast fan watching this Brooklyn drama unfold, it is wild to see a young legend like Bobby take on a titan like Jay-Z. Someone had to be the one to speak up. Daily Binge is out for now.